This is a regular January 28, 2015 council meeting. I want to welcome all the guests that are here today. I'm so glad that there's a lot of people in Dillon County interested in what's going on with the county, and y'all are very welcome. We always start off with an invocation, and I'd like to ask our chaplain, Randy Goldman, to lead some prayer.
Almighty God, this once again, Lord, come on this matter, we know our ears bowed and eyes closed. We want to thank you, Lord, for this day. Most of all, Lord, we thank you for how you have protected us and allowed us to assemble ourselves here on this first agenda meeting of the new year. God, we ask that you help us to agree as much as possible, but most of all, let us not fall out. Help us to keep Dillon County and Dillon County business on our minds and do what's right for the county. God, we ask that you bless each and every individual in the county, financially and spiritually, Lord, and health-wise. Bless this board, health-wise, financially. God, we thank you, Lord. Looking forward to having a mighty year in your name, God. Bless these and all the prayers. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Chairman, if it's fitting, before you ask for the approval of the agenda, I would like to ask to add District 3 as an appointment for the economic development appointment today. Yes, sir. It'll be under old business 10.
We have what's the stuff moved that we're under 3, which would appoint a private partnership.
Yes, sir. My appointment for this.
Yeah, and you make it as a motion.
That is correct. Thank you to do so.
I'll second that. All in favor? Raise your right hand.
Councilman, Chairman, Finklea, I think a couple of the councilmen would like to add an executive session for a contractual matter, and the contractual matter will be with our architect to discuss the contract that we get the new judicial center. Mr. Bose, is that permissible?
It is permissible.
Can you do it?
I put that in the form of a motion. I've had several councilmen ask about it.
Okay, Herald made a motion. We're going to executive session. The second.
A second.
All in favor? Raise your right hand.
Mr. Chairman, if it's fitting, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with all the necessary changes.
Okay, Mr. Scott made the motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Number 4, public hearing. Everybody signed it.
Mr. Chairman, if I could call your attention back to the agenda. Thank you for admitting approval of minutes.
Yeah, okay.
This time I make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have 2 call meetings and a regular meeting. Do we have to approve each one individually all in one time?
You all will do it.
We approve the minutes 12, 10, 14, 12, 19, 14 a call meeting, and 1, 7, 15 a call meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Don't move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and been second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. And now we get down to public hearing. Nobody signed the speaker. Okay, I just jumped from 4 play down to new business.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, no one signed up for the public hearing, is that correct?
Right, that's right.
But we just need to put in the minutes that the public hearing was held for ordinance number 13-06, and no one signed up. And the public hearing was held by number B ordinance amending the agreement development joint industrial business park, and no one here. Just the minutes reflect that. So.
Mr. Chairman. Number 5A, the Dillon Soil and Water Conservation District. I'm sorry about the seating, I apologize about that. She's gonna be happy enough to come give us a little update on what she does every year. I think this is a yearly thing, so
what Jamie Sue is passing out is a biannual newsletter that we do. And for the new members of the council, welcome. Good to have you. I usually give an update, like Clay said. I try to do it twice a year, so you'll know what we are doing over at the Dillon Soil and Water Conservation District. My name is Angie Baker, for those of you that are new. The Soil and Water District was formed in 1941 here in Dillon, so it's been around for quite some time. But that newsletter, it tells you what we've done in the last 6 months. We have a board of commissioners. Neil Rogers, Carl Coleman, Keith Allen, Sonny Price, and Alan Gaddy are the 5 standing commissioners. And our involvement in the community is that we hold poster contests. We go into the schools and do educational programs. For this past year, our focus has been on soil health. And so we go, I've been into the classrooms and teach the children about how to have healthy soil and do little activities with them. We also have an essay contest. So those 2 things were the 2 major things in the school systems that we do. We do have awards that go with those, and we also participate in Arbor Day. We take and give all the children, all the 4th graders in the Dillon County schools a seedling, and go into schools and teach them about that. And then what's really been big, when you look at this newsletter, we are involved with soil health, and I am stationed, for those of you that don't know, I am out in the NRCS office. Miss Linda knows exactly where I'm at. I see her quite often. And, but I'm in a federal building, but I am a county employee, and that's why I'm giving you an update, because this is what you fund. And we've been doing soil health workshops. I know before I started in this, I had been in corporate America all my life, and if you would have said this man's name to me 3 years ago, I would not have known, and y'all probably won't recognize his name, but Ray Archuleta is a nationally known man in the conservation world, and he has been to Dillon twice in the last year. And so this has really set the stage for other districts, especially in our state, because we have everyone asking us, how did you get him? How did you get him? Well, I just asked, you know, and I knew someone that knew him, and my philosophy is I can't know everything, but I can know someone that knows something that I don't. So you tap into those resources. So we've had him here. We also have a grant that's being done in Dillon County. Matter of fact, there's 2 of them going on now. One is to, and this is language that you may not understand. I really didn't understand the CO2 bursts. They're going into the farms and the plots and the land and measuring how these things and how having cover crops on a parcel of land, how that increases the soil health. And so these things are being done. And then the other one that we have is that Carl Coleman has set aside 40 plots to find out how much fertilizer is really needed to not bring harm to the environment. Because farmers really get a bad rap. Those of you that's ever been in farming, how many of y'all have ever been? I know Herald's been a farmer, but sometimes they get a bad rap. So we're trying to set the stage, and just for your information, me and Carl have been asked to go to our state conference and speak. So I find that to be a great honor for us, because they want to find out from us, how do we hold such great get-togethers and great meetings with such influential people in our community. So the bottom line though is, I work in the NRCS with them, I'm partners with them. That's what you pay my salary for. But that office last year brought in $826,000 into Dillon County. Bottom line, that's the figure you want to know. So Roger, the district conservationist for NRCS, and me, we're in that office by ourselves now. We lost one man this year. He got a promotion, and there are no plans to replace him. So I'm there to help Roger, and $826,000 is what came in. And in 2015, right now we're already set to break that record, because I think that's the most money that's been put into Dillon County in the form of equip contracts. And just keep in mind that money comes back into the county. So by the resources and the spending and all those things. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Can you elaborate just a little bit more on how that money is spent? I know you said it comes back into the county.
Right. It is spent on seeds, farms, seedlings, planting of like pine trees, forestry issues. People get paid to come in and do those things. The hardware stores get the business for those people that come into and have to cut down. What we do is we fund people that have, like Miss Linda, I'll use her since she's here. She's got a place over there, and we help her, we cost share with her to have plots for animals. And if someone has a farm, we'll cost share to go in and pay for the road tilling, the tilling of which we don't like to till anymore. That's a thing that they say hurts the soil. So the no-till operations, you get that money back into the county by the stores locally, by taxes, and people that do sell those services. So whether it be trees, seeds, fertilizer, herbicides, pesticides, all those things that go into, that money is put back into there, into the county through those things. So no, it's not a check that's written directly to you, but in the form of a tax base. That's where it comes in whenever you have the business here in Dillon County.
I'd like to thank you for coming in today and giving us this informative report. Y'all doing a #1 job in this county. I've been out there once or twice for some help myself, and everybody's real nice in that office, and we appreciate what you do.
Well, that's what we're there for. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, under new business, we have the digital area for targeted proposal of the Herald International Incorporated.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we got a proposal from PD Council of Governments. They've asked, I'm going to get on the list, Chesterfield, Darlington, Marlboro, Dillon, and Marion, the 5 counties, to go in together to fly the counties like we do every 5 years. Our 5 years is up, along with some other counties. And they've asked us to go in, and the good part about it is our portion is only $16,280. That's about less than 20% of what we normally pay, what we paid in the past. And the reason is because we're going with these other 4 counties. They're going to fly the other 4 counties the same time they fly us, and they'll fly it in probably February, sometime mid to late February or something, when the trees don't have any leaves and stuff on them. And the good part about it is we thought at one time there's $2,035. DNR and the state has stepped up to pay that. So that was kind of thank them. They wanted some more digital enhancement on that. So they stepped up. We can have access to the information that it's going to pay, but all the counties basically are pretty much the same. I think it depends on the size of the county. Ours, we pay a little less than Marion, Marlboro, and Chesterfield because our county is smaller, but our portion is $16,200. they like to fly it sometime in February. I mean, we're the all the other counties have checked off. We're the last one that had
Well, on the council of governments, and that was brought up, and
Right.
saving, if we had to do it by ourselves, it would cost us about $100,000 to make this fly. So since all 5 counties going in together, and we got to have this GPS, so maybe
Right.
the tax purposes and everything, got to have it.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, like you said, the chairman's right, it costs $100,000 plus. The good part about it is that Melissa could take the information, Melissa Thompson, through our GIS, take the new digital photos, because she's been with me involved in this process, and that'll get us to be able to take the new digital information and be able to overlay the tax districts on top of it. So it's a win-win for us, and it gives us good photography, and it's amazing. You'd be surprised how much 5 years lapse, how much things change, and this basically helps the assessor's office be able to sit down and look at stuff too, because they'll be able to use the information that, you know, the assessor, the treasurer, the auditor, you know, us, GIS, I mean, the road department, roads and bridges. So a lot of different agencies use this information, and then a lot of our state agencies use this information too that we put out to them. So it's a good price and a good program to be a part of.
So let me ask you a question about that. Are we ready? Do we have everything identified?
Yes, we're ready to go. We've already done all that. Melissa's already looked at everything. We're basically ready to go with the other counties. So once they fly it, I think it's going to take about a year or so to fly it. When we get all the information back, they'll fly it, and then we'll just basically, they download it to us, and then she digitally puts it in the GIS system, and she was ready to do it anyway, because her 5 years is up. She said we need to do it anyway. So it's a win-win for us.
But we have a motion to hire this Herald photography to do this, so 5 other counties already done it.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Steve made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
In second, any discussion, any more discussion before we vote? Call for the vote, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we're down to 5C, recreation request.
It's great. It was, it's just these, I guess. Is that right? Okay. It's just 2 up here. You can read them out if you want.
Dear Mr. Stott, my name is Dorothy Johnson. I am a member of the Alpha Phi Chi sorority. I am asking for a donation to help with our Prince Charming Cinderella pageant. This event will take place on January 17, 2015 at Manning Baptist Fellowship Hall. Thank you in advance, Dorothy Johnson. And the other one,
That other request.
there's one more.
We have a motion to approve the recreation request.
Do we read the other one first?
Just read the other one.
Do we read
Yeah.
There's one more.
Both at the same time? Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Okay. Donation from Councilman Herald Moody, recreation account. It's for the American Cancer Society, and he is given $100, and the check will be mailed to Finklea.
Okay, there's 2 requests. We have a motion to approve the request.
Don't move.
Need a second?
I'll second.
I'll do the second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we get down to 6, old business. Is this one, y'all want to go into executive session before we discuss the change? Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I may be putting the cart before the horse, but we have the sheriff and a representative from SLED here today that wants to update the council.
Okay.
And I think it'd be better to listen to them and then go into executive session after. That's fine with the rest of the council.
And then Sheriff, if you'd like to kind of update us on what's going on.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for giving me this opportunity. What I have done is just come because I thought there may be some questions or whatever that I may not be able to answer all the technical stuff. So I've asked SLED agent Mike Naylor, who has been doing a lot of radio work in our county and all, and is very familiar and capable of answering any questions council may have. And I feel like if Mike would, he could make a little presentation and include some of the things that you may have questions about and may even answer those before you ask them. So I would like to yield to Mike with your permission and let him kind of bring us on the table.
Hey, Neighbor, we're glad to have you with us today, and I hope you got some good information for us when you answer.
What we're trying to do is to get this tower back behind the Judicial Center, number one, so that the Sheriff's Office communications, the radios that they have in the office now, will have a place to put the antennas on to reach the other towers. And the other part of that is that we ran some tests with some communications test equipment that tells us that there's no signal coming from the two towers that the Sheriff's Department uses for their radio systems. That the first one is in Bennettsville and the other one is in Marion County. And this building being metal on three sides of it, most of it, is shielding that signal from coming into the building. So we need to put an antenna on the tower and some other equipment and antennas inside the building, so when the deputies walk in with portables or whatever, that they'll be able to talk to dispatch or to other deputies or highway patrol or whoever. And it's not just for, Dillon County. I mean, the trooper comes in there for court, he won't be able to talk to anybody either, because we all share the same radio system. Now the other piece of that is another device. The signal strength for the cellular telephones is very weak, and we need a device in there to enhance that, because then again the signal is very, very weak, but it's not as bad as the two-way radio part.
I know that my cell phone won't work in there. I know the county administrators will, but it doesn't have much.
They don't have a lot of signal.
Then one thing is radio RF signals travel better during the winter months because there's no foliage on the trees, it's cooler, there's not as much moisture. And when summer comes around, you have the foliage, the heat, 100 degree, and the signal strength is even going to be worse without it.
Any other council got a question?
Are you prepared today to give us a general idea of what kind of money we'll be talking about?
I've talked with Motorola, and they will not give us a firm estimate until the tower's put up. But they gave us a ballpark, and they said, depending on the engineering, which they'll do once the tower goes up or starts construction, that they're looking somewhere between $40,000 and $70,000 per BDA. Now, we got to have the one for the walkie-talkies to work, but the sheriff is talking to Verizon, and Verizon funded the BDA for the cell phones for SLED. We have one at our office. It belongs to them. They maintain it, and we're trying to see if they'll do the same for Dillon County, because, like I say, the highway patrol, SLED, whoever else is in there, it helps us all. And they make money off of it in the long run. So that's something that we're working on that end as well.
Do you have this problem in any other counties that have built new buildings recently?
Yes, sir. The Motorola shop said that they're putting some BDAs in Lancaster County. They put them in the university football stadium in Columbia, the one in Clemson, and they're going up everywhere because people are going back to using these metal roofs.
If we had known this before we started on the building, it would save us a lot of money. You done what you know, you have to go back. Because, that's not like we have much of a choice. Appreciate the information. Also,
we are going to executive session?
Okay. Ms. Kim, they're gonna go into executive session first, and then we're gonna hear from you. We have a motion to go into executive session.
I make